Santi is one lucky guy. He picks up what he thinks is trash on the side of the road, only to discover it's a lottery ticket worth 200 million. He's ecstatic, but now he has to pretend to be broke. Just 2 hours ago, his wife, Maite, fed up with his poverty, filed for divorce. His financial advisor warns him that if they divorce now, he'll have to give her $100 million. Not willing to part with that kind of money, Santi quickly switches to poor mode. But hey, he still wants to enjoy some luxuries. First, he gets himself a custom-made high-end suit and a top-tier Frank Muller watch. Loaded with designer bags, he heads home, hides everything in an abandoned warehouse, and gets to work. He pours premium wine worth $100,000 a bottle into 2 bottles, transfers gourmet meat paste into cheap cans, and repackages imported barbecue into discount promo packs. After all that effort, he finally takes a sip of the wine. The smoothness is like high-end chocolate melting in his mouth. Santi is savoring a 1,000 premium tuna when suddenly Maite walks in. He immediately flops onto the couch, then rolls onto the floor. By the time she finds him, he's ditched his designer suit. Maite doesn't even notice his shabby outfit and suggests he work at her supermarket. To avoid suspicion, Santi reluctantly agrees. Little does he know, the supermarket owner is his worst enemy, Mario. The moment they meet, Mario humiliates him. But thinking of his 200 million, Santi swallows his pride. By day, he's a broke worker. By night, he's living it up at a 10-star hotel. Living the millionaire life is just too good to resist. 2 days earlier, Maite had filed for divorce because Santi couldn't make ends meet. Their lawyer suggested a 3-month cooling-off period. Dejected, Santi wanders the streets, spends his last $2 on a lottery ticket, and tosses it in the trash when he gets home. Maite throws it out the next day, but when the winning numbers are announced, it's his ticket. Santi has just won $200 million. He sprints to the trash bin outside, frantically digging through it. The neighbors think he's lost his mind, but he finds the ticket. Overnight, he goes from penniless to a hidden billionaire. While shopping, he runs into his buddy Marcos. Terrified, he hides. The store clerk, seeing his designer clothes, steps in to block Marcos.
Cerra.
Hola.
Avería, hay una avería.
Una avería.
Then he bumps into his friend, Damian, and dumps his luxury items into a trash bin to hide them. But Damian recognizes him anyway. As they chat awkwardly, the entire bin of luxury goods gets hauled away. Santi's heart is breaking. Later, his in-laws visit. Maite serves a $2 bottle of wine, and Santi can't sit still. He insists the wine is too cheap, but his father-in-law scoffs. What good wine could you afford? Yet, after a sip, the father-in-law is stunned. It tastes exactly like the wine he had at a high-end banquet 10 years ago. Maite, seeing her dad enjoy it, offers to give him the rest from the fridge. Santi's heart is shattering, but he can't reveal the truth. Santi, now a 200 million lottery winner, is still pretending to be broke. As he raises his glass, his father-in-law spots his Frank Muller watch and is shocked. Santi quickly covers it with his sleeve, claiming it's a $10 knockoff from the street. Unexpectedly, his father-in-law pulls out $100 and says, "Get me 10 of those." Then a phone rings. Everyone checks, but no one claims it. Santi panics. It's his new luxury phone, and it's not on silent. If he pulls it out, he's busted. Thinking fast, he blurts out his divorce plans, sending Maite storming away from the table. Later, he leaves a high-end restaurant and spots Mario on a date with Maite. Furious, he waits until they enter the restaurant, then grabs a flower pot and smashes it into Mario's Mercedes. Still not satisfied, he slashes the tires with a knife. But oops, it's the wrong car. Oh well, it's just money. He's got plenty of it. That day, the driver pulls into a gas station and parks right in front of his friend Damian. Instantly, their eyes meet. Damian nods toward the car, and Santi has no choice but to awkwardly nod back. At this moment, his mind goes blank. He has no idea how to explain himself to Damian. Just as he's about to come clean, Damian licks his hand, smooths his hair, and suddenly looks even more handsome. How is anyone supposed to compete with me? Turns out, it was all just a false alarm. If you won $200 million, what would you do? Santi drags his financial advisor to confront his former boss, who used to bully him. He buys the boss's yacht but insists the boss personally clean the yacht's toilets as a condition. The delay makes him late for his supermarket shift, and Mario chews him out. But for the sake of his $200 million, Santi takes it. One night, passing a bar, he sees Marcos and Damian happily drinking. He feels left out. Back home, he's hit with loneliness. How can he make rich friends? Simple. Turn his current friends into rich people. The next day, a beautiful woman approaches Damian. She offers him an $8 million deal to endorse sunglasses. Suddenly, Marcos inherits $8 million from a distant relative. Problem solved. Now his friends are rich too. Being friends with a billionaire is awesome. The moment the two friends get their money, they buy sports cars and flaunt them in front of Santi. This shocks him. He thought they'd use the money to improve their lives, but instead, they're blowing it all. They fire back at Santi. "It's our money. We'll spend it however we want. You're just jealous." Finally, Santi can't keep up the act anymore. "Your money? It's all mine. I'm a $200 million billionaire now." In his excitement, Marcos drives his car straight into the ocean. So much for living the high life. His billionaire experience lasted less than 8 hours. Marcos is back to being broke, but at least they didn't drown. Now, his friends believe him. Santi really is a billionaire. So they start spending money together, partying, and chasing girls. But people are selfish. Damian complains that after endorsing sunglasses, he's being mocked online for being the ugliest guy ever. Meanwhile, Marcos, after suddenly coming into wealth, buys a bunch of useless stuff and turns into a spendthrift, getting kicked out by his wife. Now both friends are blaming Santi. "You ruined our lives." Once again, Santi finds himself alone. Overnight, the poor man becomes a billionaire, dining on lobster at 5-star hotels every day. One day, while playing golf with his financial advisor, he learns that Mario's supermarket is on the verge of bankruptcy. Just then, Mario shows up. Santi pretends to be a caddy, claiming it's his part-time job. "You're supposed to be at the supermarket, but here you are doing a side hustle?" Mario fires him on the spot. Santi rushes back to the supermarket and tells Maite about Mario's bankruptcy, but she doesn't believe him. She thinks Santi is just messing around instead of doing anything productive. That is, until Mario himself announces the supermarket is closing. Maite loses her job, and Santi sees his chance. He invites her to dinner, planning to come clean and save their marriage. He hires a Michelin-starred chef to prepare a romantic candlelit dinner at home. It turns out they still love each other. After apologizing to each other, they finally reconcile. Santi reveals he won $200 million, but Maite doesn't believe him, thinking he's just bragging. It's only when she sees the warehouse transformed into a luxurious lounge that she finally accepts the truth. "Why didn't you tell me sooner?" she asks. But she's not happy. She feels betrayed, thinking Santi has been lying to her all along and still wants a divorce. Santi is frustrated. She complains when I'm poor, and now that I'm rich, she thinks I'm a liar? The next day, Maite receives a notification, a transfer of $100 million. Then a package arrives, the signed divorce papers. Immediately after, she gets a call saying the supermarket has been bought by a wealthy investor and is reopening. The financial advisor hands her the property deed, and it's in her name. Meanwhile, Santi heads to the airport alone, ready to start his new life as a billionaire. But Maite isn't about to let him go that easily. Maite rushes out of the supermarket. A traffic officer is writing her a ticket, but when she hears she's the wife of a $200 million billionaire, she offers to drive her to the airport in his patrol car. They race to the airport. Maite finds Santi at the boarding gate. She rolls up her sleeves, walks up to him, and slaps him hard. "You think you can buy me off with a little money and a small supermarket?" Santi finally gets the message. After a passionate kiss, Maite forgives him. Santi and Maite are back together, living their happily ever after. It's true. The rich get their happy endings, while the poor just watch. Damian eventually becomes a real internet celebrity, and Marcos wins back his wife's heart. This movie is called If I Were Rich, a 2019 Spanish comedy. While the plot might be a bit cliché, the series of twists and turns make it a fun watch. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. See you next time.